I did not enable that. I'm sorry. We went into a range where only dogs could hear. Oh, my Lord. What?
I think we just got new.
I'm just so excited. We're sham rocking our way into this month's theme, and it is St. Patty's Day, baby. It's March. Everybody,
I need this to puncture your eardrum.
Everybody, bring out your Guinness. Bring out your
What?
Your Guinness. Your it's beer.
I know.
Okay, I'm trying to think of any other like Irish themed.
Your shamrock shake.
You got your shamrock shakes, and enjoy us at All Slate Media talking in our bite-sized episodes about St. Patty's Day.
Hooray!
And now that I broke your guys' eardrums,
What?
we are going to be doing Jake's pick this week, and he picked Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And again, I'm just way too old for all these people.
Hey, I legitimately remember like 5 episodes of the show.
I watched it when my sister liked it. When we were little, we'd watch it. It's after the initial run.
Oh, same.
But I remember being like 7, which actually would have been like a year or 2 after this episode.
And by the way, it is Melissa Joan Hart is Callistra from Callistra Explains It All, which is a Nickelodeon show.
Oh,
pre-Prime Nicktoon.
Did they have sound yet at that time?
I don't know, man. Maybe not.
That makes sense as to why you would remember that. Oh, this is a good 20 years.
I'm trying to reel this back in.
That would make you 15, homie.
Oh man, I wish I could go back to being my teenager years.
We don't. We still hate you in your 20s.
We don't need your voice any higher.
Are you sure? No, I'm not.
See, that wasn't as natural.
I'm not going to do that again. But yes, I'm excited because I haven't seen this episode. I have maybe, like I said, 5 episodes. I remember the gist of it. I did like all the reruns. They're on Nick, right? All the reruns.
No, I think Fox was. I think it was on Fox for a while.
I feel like I remember seeing this on Nick.
This is originally ABC, I think, because it was on TGIF. I think, and then I think it reran on Fox, and then maybe Nick at Night. But Nick at Night isn't even like.
I think that's where I saw it.
That's definitely where I saw it.
Was this on TV Land ever?
It must have been.
TV
it's
Land
old
is
enough.
Everything.
Wait, so okay, hold on. Can you? When did this originally?
TV Land is a channel.
I know that, but when did this originally?
A channel is a part of a television station.
This is 1999. This episode, the show started.
They don't stream. Well, they kind of do stream, except it's a signal that goes to your TV.
I will flip the channels to go get to the other channels.
I was simply,
and some people, even before in the before times, had to get up
and
to change the station with a dial.
3 channels.
And then, if your antenna was pointed the wrong way, there was this little box on the other side of the room that you had to turn, and it went.
I know you remember that because that was from your childhood. That's when you were born, right? When
yeah, it actually was.
Yep.
They had just invented the steam automobile. So, Jake, do you remember this episode?
He's going. You picked it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I know we were going with the St. Patty's Day stuff, but
see, I don't remember every episode of this, especially not by name. It's hard, but I probably just picked it because it's a St. Patty's Day theme of a show I like. But I believe there's a leprechaun that runs through the witch household, and Salem the cat wishes to be a boy. I don't remember the exact reason why.
Gotcha. And you said Salem the cat. I was going to say I thought that was cat. I feel like it's one of those things where when you're a kid, you watch it and everything's over your head except you laugh at the funny cat that talks. The cat talks, right? It's a puppet, isn't it?
Okay. That's the part that I remember the most about this was the talking cat.
I always confused Salem with Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, I was gonna say,
I was confused.
Phil Hartman, the Disney dub. So Phil Hartman's Gigi performance. So
I always confused Salem with the black cat in Hocus Pocus.
That's what I was about to say. That's the one that I always mix up is those two. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I mean, do you guys have anything else you want to say before we jump in? All right, stay tuned for a quick 2-second edit and then our thoughts on Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Take a bite.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just watched Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and what is the title again?
Salem the Boy.
And Salem the Boy. And they did, in fact, turn Salem into a boy. So it fits pretty well. I thought that was funny. They gave Salem all the funny lines.
Is that how the show usually works, Jake? They just give most of the best lines to Salem?
He is the one-liner of the show.
Yeah,
He was making me laugh. And the principal dude, he's the principal, right? He was killed.
That's what I would say, yeah,
what's his name? Kraft?
Yeah.
Vote Kraft. Or else.
Or else.
That's the best campaign slogan ever.
What was he running for again? Because he's principal.
Principal. He was running for principal. Yes, I know. It doesn't make any... Well, he was running for governor, too.
Well, at one point, yeah, he was.
It kind of...
If a wrestler can do it, why not a principal?
Why not? I'm like, sure, yeah, let's go there, buddy. You can...
I was just going to say, it's... watching through a lot of these older sitcoms, a lot of the last chunk of the story just resolves itself so much because of the limited time. Because now the half hour slots because of streaming are looser, but I feel like shows get closer to the half hour now. But then this is like 22 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you got to factor in all the commercials and whatnot. So it has
I've been going back and watching a lot of the older sitcoms just outside of this, and I really kind of miss shows not really having an overarching storyline.
Dude, I was thinking not to bring up The Mandalorian, but...
And no spoilers.
And no spoilers for The Mandalorian, because I haven't seen it. But it is of that nature, that there's not a super large overarching thing. It's kind of just like they meander, they just kind of find their way through this world. And I feel like, yeah, you're right. Like, more shows need to do more of like
episodic.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say villain of the week kind of thing. Like I miss that.
No, Jared doesn't like villain of the week. It takes him 10 years to watch one season.
I am of the opposite mind. I don't really like shows that are episodic. I'd watch stuff like this because
this is different though. It's a comedy.
Sitcoms are different, but I prefer shows having overarching things because that keeps me invested. When it's episodic, I'm less likely to watch.
I suppose. For me, if it's an hour-long thing, I expect more of the overarching story.
I agree.
But, if it's half an hour, it's fun to just sit down and laugh at this.
Well, and this show brought up, and you saying that kind of brought me into the reason that I like Supernatural, is because...
It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. And, the episodic stuff, I watch the show because I just like watching the characters interact with each other.
Is that a Monster of the Week type deal?
It exactly is, yes. There was a very large overarching for the first 6 seasons, but then it gets into its own thing.
The first season is definitely Monster of the Week horror. It's more of a horror movie than anything else. Mm-hmm. It gets into the second season, and then it blows up into this thing that you didn't even expect. Mm-hmm. And then the third season drops the ball. And then the fourth season comes back strong. And then the fifth season ends the show well. And then they go on for another 10 seasons. It was 5 seasons,
but yeah, exactly. Which is, that's why, it's fun. I like to be able to, if I just get into the characters, kind of like this show, I just get into, watching Salem Raz with the mom and the aunt, just
Yeah, but, you don't need any context to watch this and know
you need a little bit for certain things.
I feel like
the dude who was at the locker with her, Harvey.
Oh, Harvey?
I had no idea
it's not hard to pick up on the fact that they're dating.
Yeah,
but at a certain point, I was like, okay. I thought so. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
That's the only reason for a boy to be with a girl at her locker. Oh.
True. I'm just trying to, 100%.
Especially in the 90s.
That's what I was going to say. Just watching this, it just makes you want to fall back into those just warm and snuggly, 90s cliches. 90s cliches.
This was not warm and snuggly the whole time, though.
There were parts of it that
parts of it.
It was definitely snuggly, as we can see.
You had I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy that played Othos in Beetlejuice, kind of chasing after the women. Just That's a little weird.
And then Mr. Leprechaun, what was his name? Roland.
I was very afraid that was going to get way more inappropriate than it did.
Like, that was a little uncomfortable. And then just like, how old is Salem supposed to be? Kind of
very old.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's
in
old.
The body of a teenager hanging out with like that.
I was gonna say he's a warlock that was sentenced to not eternity.
I actually didn't know
a long time as a cat because he tried to take over the world.
That makes sense.
There are three things in this episode that are very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The Caligula stuff is especially. I was laughing, but maybe not because it was necessarily funny. Maybe because
it's uncomfy laughing when he's just chasing after them because he wants them. It's just like, this is just.
No. To quote him, they wanted him.
Oh, yeah. So obviously, that's why they're running away from him. It's that reverse psychology, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I will say, I love the. I don't know if it was the first line or the second line of the episode was, isn't it? I'm trying to remember how he phrased it. Like, oh, another day with 8 nipples. And I'm like, he goes full send right into it.
They didn't do that much St. Patrick stuff though, because outside of just the leprechaun.
Yeah, it was mostly just the leprechaun.
The whole spiel with the rainbow and whatnot. I was like, oh, okay, this dance is this gonna like? Because I was thinking, like, is this going to, like, end a dance or something? And no, not even close.
Kind of like
they didn't really resolve that.
Yeah, he did. Gordy asked her to the slicery.
Is that the dance?
No, but it's asking her out on a date, which is what she wanted.
Yeah.
So the dance is just thrown to the back burner completely.
I mean, once you get asked out on a date, I feel like the next step is just to go to the dance. So
again, we're talking about a 90s 30-minute sitcom here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get to the end, it's like, oh, they got to just wrap this all up real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it works. I don't know. Like I said, it's easy for me to fall into the nice cliches. I just like them.
She only used magic or something. I'm not counting the coupons. She only used magic like once, too.
She's not. Mm-hmm. I think she's not supposed to.
Okay. I have context I don't know because all she did was change the name.
She definitely has to hide it so nobody else would know, right?
Yeah, except that doesn't work out that well.
How many seasons are there?
I don't know. I think maybe 7.
Really?
And was it aimed at teens?
No, this definitely feels like it was
I mean, teen is in the title. I'm just saying, like, this was aimed for that demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that.
Anyone who would be at home on a Friday night. So
probably when I watched it.
I think I remember just catching it up on the Nick at Night.
Yep, on Friday nights for us because it was the only night me and my siblings could stay up late.
Mm-hmm.
So you watch. It's like we could stay up to 10.
Oh boy!
It's like now 10. That's when I eat dinner.
It's like 10 o'clock.
Dude, I'm in bed for 2 hours by then. What are you talking about?
Well, you're more of an adult than we are.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm barely adulting over here. It's fine.
Well, it's okay. You're up at 10.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to work. Yay. Okay.
Yay, graveyards. Shift.
We love it. It's fine. On that note, did you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I just did.
I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. Despite the problematic parts.
I was gonna say
I will admit those. It didn't overshadow or sully the memory of it. I find it like most 90s sitcoms or early 2000s sitcoms. It just, because of the age we're in versus the age it was back then, it just doesn't age that well.
You just kind of like you said, just uncomfortably laughing. I'm like,
just remember, Dickie, the cat is not always a real cat.
I know. Sometimes it's a puppet.
Sometimes it's a puppet.
That's so bizarre.
How they go to the Coliseum to film.
Yeah, and they didn't even do like that peanut butter behind the gums thing that they do with horses.
Wow. Wait, what?
What?
The way they made Mr. Ed talk.
Who's Mr. Ed?
The horse.
I know who that is. You don't know who Mr. Ed is?
They put peanut butter behind the gum of the horse, and it made him do the talking motion. Because he was trying to get the peanut butter
Mr.
out.
Ed? It's a talking horse. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. You've never heard of a talking horse?
Have you really never? Not once?
No.
It's the 60s.
Wow.
Okay.
Again, in the 60s, there's so many wild concepts. It's literally, what is the premise? A talking horse. And his owner. That's really it. I watched it as a kid.
Huh.
My parents are...
One day we'll have to do like 60s.
We got stuff planned, remember?
We have
We got stuff planned.
Jared Tuinstra month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Social.
yeah. Take it
Oh,
away.
follow us on the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram and the TikTok, and you can listen to us on Spotify, the Evil Overlord, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcasts, and Stitcher, and you can also listen, but watch us as well on YouTube, which we would appreciate liking and subscribing and commenting if you want to tell us how stupid we are. Also, make sure you rate us on Apple Podcasts to let us know how we're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching this bite-sized episode. We're going to keep it rolling with St. Patty's Day episodes. That was a horrible accent.
What
That was accent.
That I tried doing an Irish accent. Top of the morning, hey, we're going to do some St. Patty's. Yep. Okay.
Just keep going.
Yeah. We'll see you next
Bye,
week for more
everyone.
St. Patty's. Bye.
Take a bite, my son.
Oh, take a bite.
Marshmallow power!